In my opening statement, I acknowledge that, yes, my wife Carmen Wilson and I created a series of sexually explicit videos and books. We did so on our own time, using our own money. And as I've shown, we did not intend to profit from sharing those videos and books with other people. Most importantly, we certainly did not want to force anyone to read or view our books or videos. So I want to thank the prosecution in this case for not forcing anyone here to view any images they might find objectionable or offensive. I also want to remind everyone here that the Wisconsin state statute that guides this hearing, UWS Chapter 4, says a tenured faculty member has all the constitutional rights and privileges enjoyed by any other U.S. citizen and can only be dismissed for just cause. The statute further states that the burden of proof for establishing just cause is on the administration. As I've said, I hope you'll all agree that we're fortunate to live in a state and a country that affords us these protections. Now that the prosecution has presented its case, I think it's clear that they have not proved just cause. They have led us in several unrelated directions, but ultimately they have taken us nowhere. They have alleged Carmen and I caused reputational harm to UWL, but they have not proved it. In particular, Interim Chancellor Morgan has shared that wherever she goes, people approach her to share their concerns, that alumni have expressed their dismay, and some potential donors have indicated they will no longer support the university. We have no doubt these things have happened. However, at the same time, we have had just as many students, alumni, faculty, and staff tell us they find what the university is doing to us to be an egregious overreaction. My point is that the responses are not unanimous, but what is indisputable is that UW-La Crosse has not experienced substantive negative effects. As we've heard, enrollment is stable, the budget remains balanced, and donations continue to flow in. They have alleged, but not proved, insubordination. They have attempted to draw a parallel between my situation and a 2020 case involving a UW Stout faculty member fired for not wearing a mask. The UW Stout case occurred during the height of the COVID epidemic, and as we all remember, at that time, mask wearing was seen as a measure that was required to literally save lives. And this was a faculty member that was going into a class saying, "I'm not going to wear a mask." Very different situation. And also, the UW Stout faculty member was on the tenure track. He had not yet earned tenure. The administration is also using their own subjective definition of what it means to participate in the investigation. As I have shown, as I waited to receive an attorney from the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression, I provided to both the investigators and Interim Chancellor Morgan a thorough report of the Amazon book royalties my wife and I had received. I also offered to answer any of the investigators' questions in writing while I was waiting for a fire attorney. And I declined to sign an overly broad request from the investigators to be granted unlimited access to my wife's Amazon accounts for a 12-year period. So to say I refuse to cooperate with the investigators is simply not true. The administration, the prosecution, also has alleged but not proved that my wife and I violated information technology use policies and viewed pornographic material on our university-issued computers. The FTI consultant, Mr. Bowie, reported that we had identical automatic login information on both our laptop computers for several sexually explicit websites. This is an extraordinary finding, as Carmen was issued her laptop in the fall of 2019 as a resource to use while working on behalf of the UWL Foundation, work that never materialized. And so while she opened her laptop computer one time, she did not ever use it, and it sat in its original box in my office until Chief Hill retrieved it on December 22nd, 2023. We never created those login accounts, and while we cannot definitely prove that, the following statements are factual. The adult websites listed do not require an individual to create an account and log into that account to view adult content. Accounts with login information are only required to post content. As noted in the evidentiary documentation, and during this hearing, we do not deny using our home personal computers, and I want to emphasize that, our home personal computers, to post material on Xhamster, Pornhub, Loyal Fans, and OnlyFans. But we never used UWL-issued computers to visit or post anything on those 4 sites or any of the other 5 listed in the FTI report. So we would have no reason to create those accounts. We have no idea how those accounts became associated with our computers, but I can assure you we did not create them. The other evidence that we used university computers to visit pornographic sites is email in my spam folder. I hope you'll agree that no one should be penalized for junk mail, spam, they did not request. Again, the only evidence cited that we viewed adult content is circumstantial and suspect. The forensic experts found no browsing history of visits to sites containing pornographic material, and I want to remind you of that. There has never been any evidence that we visited sites containing pornographic material. I reiterate that one reason, the one that Occam's razor claims is most likely to be true, is that we simply never browsed adult content on our university computers. Ultimately, however, the most egregious assertion made against us is the claim that we deleted information from our computers prior to returning them to the university. An assertion listed not once, but twice in the charges lodged against me. As we have shown, this is an outright lie. We did not return our computers because they were taken from my office on Friday, December 22nd, under the direction of Universities of Wisconsin General Counsel Quinn Williams and UWL Interim Chancellor Betsy Morgan. Most importantly, we didn't delete any information from the computers before those computers were shipped to the home address of the General Counsel, launching a very unusual chain of custody for the devices. Now that you have learned the truth, we feel confident you will have no choice but to decline to participate in the administration's conspiracy to take away my tenure. After all, tenure is based on the quality of one's teaching, research, and service. This fruitless exercise has nothing to do with that, and likely will cause many people to raise the question, do universities of Wisconsin faculty, staff, and students have the right to engage in free speech in their personal lives, particularly on contemporary social media? I hope that you will vote in favor of that essential freedom rather than help to suppress it. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to defend ourselves and present our case.